Heya, cryptozens. Tonight's stories. Malaysia and Honduras back away from crypto. Exxon mining Bitcoin from natural gas waste. Florida to allow Bitcoin payments for taxes. It's 10 p.m. Pacific time. The date is March 24th, 2022. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm your host, Nick. The cover model for this podcast is Tex, and together we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. We bring you new stories on familiar topics. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. I do seem to be coming down with a little something in my throat here, so hopefully my voice holds. The Bank of England is being kind of aggressive. I mean, they've never really been a friend to Bitcoin or any other crypto. That aside, they have a rough sketch of how to regulate crypto. So now they're giving other banks until the 3rd of June to set out their plans. And when I say that, what I mean is that the Bank of England sent all these banks a survey. And this survey covers existing exposures of local banks as well as their future crypto plans. And like I said, those need to be returned by the 3rd of June. As it is, it sure doesn't sound like the Bank of England is being too friendly. They're demanding crypto businesses must register with their FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, by March 31st. Industry is pushing back. They call these requirements that the FCA uses difficult at best. One lawyer involved in registering crypto firms with the FCA called it a total disaster on the part of the regulator. What that means is that fintech companies such as Revolut and Copper may be forced to get out of crypto if they fail to meet the upcoming deadline. And while it seems like they're starting to push firms out of the space, crypto adoption, on the other hand, in the UK is growing fast. According to data from Finder, 6.1% of Britons reported owning cryptocurrency as of March 2022. And that's more than double the amount who reported holding crypto in 2018. Institutional interest? It's also increasing. One report from August 2021 showed that 2/3 of institutions and wealth managers had recently increased crypto allocation in their own portfolios. Now, before we get into tonight's stories, let's take a quick look at the markets. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $1.99 trillion. So close to $2 trillion. That's up 1.71% on the day. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin up 2.07%, Ethereum up 1.62%, Tether, Binance Coin up 0.24%, and USDC. The global NFT market cap is just above 10.13 billion. That's up 0.14 in 24, so pretty flat on the day. The top 5 NFT collections on OpenSea by sales volume are Azuki up 184%, Mutant Apes up 62%, Bored Apes down 6%, CryptoPunks up 85%, Azuki down 79%. Keep in mind, some of these collections have very volatile prices, so do your own research. Malaysia and Honduras back away from crypto. The winds of adoption change again. This is an update to reporting from earlier this week. Muhammad Shahar Abdullah is Malaysia's deputy finance minister, and he pushed back against speculation that Bitcoin would be legalized in Malaysia. Disappointingly, they've backed off from that approach, and they are looking towards a central bank digital currency, which is a change because earlier this week I reported that Malaysia's deputy minister of their communication ministry said Malaysia should follow in El Salvador's steps and legalize Bitcoin. That would have made them the second country in the world to make Bitcoin legal tender. That said, the deputy finance minister made it clear they have no such plans at this point. He said, quote, "Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are not suitable for use as a payment instrument due to various limitations." As far as what those various limitations mean, I couldn't tell you. They didn't provide any real details on that. They did indicate that a CBDC is in the works, though saying the growing technology and payment landscape have prompted the Bank Negara Malaysia to actively assess the potential of bank's digital currency central. And it looks like that's going to be the same story in Honduras. The Central Bank of Honduras addressed rumors that Honduras was going to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, and the answer to that appears to be no. In a statement issued Wednesday, the central bank said, quote, "For the time being, Bitcoin was not regulated in the country." They reminded everyone that, constitutionally speaking, they are the only ones who can issue banknotes or legal tender. The bank issued a statement which said the central bank, quote, "neither supervises nor guarantees operations carried out with cryptocurrencies as a means of payment. Any transaction conducted with these types of virtual assets is the responsibility and risk of those who carry it out." Now, they did say that they were continuing with the study and conceptual, technical, and legal analysis. And that legal analysis goes towards the feasibility of introducing a central bank digital coin in Honduras. The central bank said a CBDC would be considered legal tender in the country and regulated accordingly. Exxon mining Bitcoin from natural gas waste. Flared gas is wasted at sites around the world. One example is the oil wells in North Dakota. Lots of wasted gas. It's part because of a lack of pipelines. They just can't get it into storage. So it's lost. ExxonMobil is working on that. And just so we're clear, we're talking about natural gas, not the stuff you put in your car. They have a pilot project to turn that wasted gas into money. And that actually started in January 2021. Now they're talking about expanding it to Nigeria, Argentina, Guyana, and Germany. Crusoe Energy Systems is a pioneer of this technique, that of using natural gas from an oil well pad in the Bakken Shale region. They'd use that gas to power mobile generators, and then those mobile generators would power their Bitcoin mining rigs. ConocoPhillips is also in the Bakken region. They're also planning on routing gas from one of their projects, and that too would go to mining Bitcoin. This is where it's a little different because ConocoPhillips is selling that gas to third-party miners to fuel their rigs. Sarah Norden is a spokesperson for ExxonMobil, and she said, quote, "ExxonMobil continuously evaluates emerging technologies aimed at reducing flaring volumes across our operations." It wasn't long ago at all that Crusoe Energy was recognized globally for their innovation. That came from the World Bank's Global Gas Flaring Reduction Initiative report. Currently, it's considered best practice to flare off natural gas, burns it up, releasing it into the atmosphere. And often that's because they just don't have the transportation infrastructure to store it. And frankly, adding that infrastructure is not a simple process. If for no other reason than a lot of people just don't like the idea of a bunch of pipelines ferrying natural gas around. And the truth is, transporting natural gas requires pipelines. Those pipelines cannot always safely accommodate the amount produced, so they end up burning it off or flaring it, all of the excess that they can't handle safely. That hurts both the environment and the bottom line. Danielle Fougere is the president of environmental shareholder advocacy group As You Sow. Referring to the energy being diverted to Bitcoin miners, she said, quote, "It is creating use of what would otherwise be wasted." And it seems to be working. Crusoe Energy operated 60 data centers for crypto mining across 4 states as of September 2021. That's according to a report from Argus Media. Those data centers are powered by, quote, "gas from oil wells that would otherwise be flared on site." Instead of burning the gas, this reportedly reduces the carbon dioxide equivalent emissions by as much as 63%. Florida to allow Bitcoin payment for taxes. So Colorado was first. They described it as the next logical step on the path to digital statehood. Colorado's governor, Jared Polis, explained in a tweet that the state would accept crypto payments converted into a dollar value, which would then be deposited in the state's treasury. Looks like Florida is setting itself up to be next. Ron DeSantis is Florida's governor, and he said, quote, "We will accept Bitcoin. We're working on doing that for payments in the state of Florida." Oh, and an important note, this is only for businesses. The governor said, "We are working, and I've told state agencies, figure out ways where if a business wants to pay tax in cryptocurrency to Florida, we should be willing to accept that." Fittingly, this happened at the signing ceremony of a financial literacy bill. That bill is trying to add personal finance education as a requirement for high school graduation. And this is not coming out of just nowhere. Last December, Governor DeSantis said cryptocurrencies should be allowed for the payment of state taxes by local businesses. He also supports allocating funds to experiment with blockchain technology. The Florida legislature didn't pass his initiative on that. But it can't be ignored, right? DeSantis is a potential 2024 Republican presidential candidate. Now, he does not sound at all confident that President Biden's executive order on the crypto sector is going to work. He said there's a fundamental difference between cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and turning the dollar into a CBDC. It seems that in response to the proposal to institute a central bank digital coin, he has the same concerns that I and others have mentioned, that of the amount of control a CBDC gives its government. He said, quote, "I worry about the amount of power that would give someone in a central authority to basically be able to shut off access to purchasing certain goods. We'd be in uncharted territory." Frankly, it seems like Florida is working hard to compete with states like Wyoming, New York, and Texas. Miami is turning itself into a hub of crypto business. Their mayor, Francis Suarez, he is a huge Bitcoin supporter. And we've talked about it here. Suarez was the first major U.S. politician to announce he would accept his entire salary in Bitcoin. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. So let me ask you this. What do you think? Is the UK going to start making things easier for their crypto businesses to get regulated and get up and running? There are constant signs of how crypto improves the economies of nations and the lives of their people. Hopefully the UK gets on board soon. Tell me what you think. Send me an email at crypto.overnighter@gmail.com. That's crypto.overnighter@gmail.com. Oh, and give Crypto in 5 Minutes a listen. We now have 35 educational podcasts, 5 minutes to explain one concept in crypto. And until next time, may peace reign.